Welcome to Internet Marketing Trends for 2017. I'm Matt Weber, President and CEO of Roar Internet Marketing. Good to have you back. Hey, we're going to jump right into number 4. This is the fourth in a 5-part series, and we're going to have to go to a slightly unusual place to begin to understand our fourth trend.
People who need people are the luckiest people in the world.
Hey, nothing says cutting internet technology like a 1964 Broadway show tune, right? But there's a message in that song for what it's going to be like to market on the internet in 2017. A really strong message. And what that song is trying to tell us about 2017 is that when we think about content for the internet, it's going to be less about the what and more about the who. Now think about what our primal instincts are as marketers. It's to talk about what we do best and what we do differently. Everything is from our perspective. Well, in 2017, we're going to have to adapt, and we may have to put out content, for example, by roles, content that is based on the who, the person who is coming, and what that particular person is trying to achieve in their pursuit. So, for example, let's talk about content by roles. We're in the B2B space here at Roar. We have a pipeline-driven business. And I noticed in 2015, I had a little bit of an epiphany. I noticed that we were getting a lot of calls that sounded like this. Hi, this is Jim. My boss gave me the assignment of finding internet marketing companies or website companies for him to evaluate. Well, Jim didn't know anything about internet marketing or web development. He was just putting together a list. And I knew that when I looked at our website, we didn't have any content on our website for people like Jim. Usually we sell to more advanced and more sophisticated buyers. But we weren't going to get to the table at Jim's company unless we influenced Jim, if we helped Jim. So we had to have content specifically for him that maybe was of a more remedial nature than what we may have been accustomed to putting out. Now, if you're listening to this and you're also in the B2B space, you know you've come across a gatekeeper. You know you've tried to reach the decision maker after getting a call like Jim's and then reaching out to that company. But before you got to the decision maker, you got to a gatekeeper, and that gatekeeper was going to pass you through or not pass you through. Now, that gatekeeper has got a little bit of skin in the game, right? If they're going to put their reputation online by passing you through, they have to feel really good about it. So a gatekeeper is going to need different content than Jim did. Jim needed to be taught the whole internet marketing, how to buy a web development and internet marketing scheme. The gatekeeper doesn't. The gatekeeper needs to know who can they trust. So the gatekeeper may want to know about testimonials, companies that we've worked for that are similar. It's a trust relationship with the gatekeeper. And if the gatekeeper passes you through to the decision maker wants something else beyond what the influencer wants and what the gatekeeper wants. The decision maker now wants pricing, ROI, results, conversions, completely different content than the influencer and the gatekeeper want. So that's what we talk about when we talk about in 2017, shaping content by roles. Now let's go one step further, a little simpler. You may simply have to adapt content by industries. For example, here at Roar, we tend to specialize in elective medical and manufacturing. So we've got a very specific page on our website. And if we drop you off on that medical page, we don't look like an internet marketing company or a web development company. We look like a medical expert. Same thing on our manufacturing page. So we are tailoring content based on the industry that person's coming from. So we're looking at the who rather than what we instinctively want to say. Now let's get a little bit more advanced as we wind this down and talk about how do you determine content by the place in the funnel. And as I describe this, I think a light will go off in your head and you'll say, oh yeah, I kind of realize that I'm seeing that as you travel through the internet. And when someone is beginning that phase, that just figuring out what they want to buy, that they have even a remote interest, brands are getting successful at engaging people with light, fun content that you see on social media. Memes, infographics, very light, nothing very heavy at all. Much of it humorous, some of it even maybe quizzes. And then as I become more deliberate in my purchase intention, then I have a need for more informative and helpful information. How do you compare to them? What do you do differently? How long have you been in business? And then finally, as I've gotten deeper into this, and remember, the user is in a lot of control now about what information they take in, then I'm receptive to self-promotion. What do you do best? What's your position in the market? And finally, as I'm getting ready to buy, that's when the buyer is most receptive to selling and offers and specific pricing. Now think about this for just a minute and think about what some companies do. They typically get this completely backwards, right? They lead with selling and they lead with offers. But we've got to have content that fits each of these four kind of categories to walk someone down the funnel, because people are very much in control now of from whom and what information they will take in on the internet. It's unlike a television commercial, which they would have to take in the whole 30 seconds. You see in the web, they can click off or they can go somewhere else. So we're going to put out little pieces of bait, if you will, in this kind of form to walk them through that funnel. And that's a fairly advanced technique, but that's another example of what you'll see in 2017 is being able to offer content by the purchaser's place in the funnel. Hey, now that you've learned another trend for 2017, it's time to ask yourself, is your internet strategy behind or ahead of the curve? It's easy to find out. You can get a free consultation right by filling out the form on this page. And with that consultation, you'll find out which of these trends that we've presented are going to negatively impact your business the most. You'll find out what resources are required to get you ahead of the curve rather than behind. It's easy, it's free, it'll take about 30 to 45 minutes of your time, and you can sign up right here. Plus, if your internet strategy involves Google AdWords, there is an opportunity for you to possibly qualify for $250 in free AdWords credit by getting this consultation. So sign up today. Hey, thanks for listening.